Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slay, and today we're going to do AEW Full Gear predictions. But first, hit that like button for me. Hit the like button, and then subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And then sit back and let's talk about AEW Full Gear. Okay, so the buy-in match will be Serena Deeb versus Allison Kay for the NWA Women's Championship. Allison Kay is a free agent now. She does not work for NWA anymore. She was actually a former NWA Women's Champion. So this is, I guess, a credible opponent, but it's really weird because she doesn't work there, and Serena Deeb does. And Serena Deeb just won the title, so there's no way Serena's going to lose. We're going to go with Serena Deeb here. Allison Kay might be a decent pickup for AEW, though. They really need to just stop using talent and just start signing talent, if we're being honest. Like, Allison Kay is free. She has worked for Impact. If she's available and she's willing to do this, just give her a contract. You need women. You need women. All of them that become free, you should just sign them. Like, if they have any ability to work, any ability to travel, you just throw them some money because your women's division is trash. So they need to sign all these women. So obviously Serena Deeb is going to win. Not going to be a big deal. That's why they put it on the pre-show. Let's see. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page, the tournament final, a number one contender for the World Championship match, and Kenny Omega is going to win this match. Okay. Everything that they've said up to this point, Kenny Omega's won every tournament he's ever been in. Then you got this whole Hangman Page is a nervous drunk, who's not sure whether he can really compete with Kenny Omega. It's all stupid. It's all real stupid, man. Like, instead of promoting Hangman Adam Page as like a badass, they look at him as he's like real queasy and weird. They trying to go this whole Kenny is a heel now, but he's like an arrogant heel. He's not really like a tough guy heel. So does this make Page a babyface? I guess so. They haven't really done a good job of building this up. This has not been built up well at all. On any front. No, not as a title tournament match, not as these are two friends who are now fighting situation. It's just not been built up at well at all. Tournaments, the problem with tournaments is usually there is no heat. And that's the same thing you have here. Is you have these guys, it's like, well, they're fighting because they're in a tournament and they have to fight. There's some animosity from the breakup of the team and Hangman's drinking problems and the problems with the Elite. There's those issues. Sure, they exist in this storyline, but they're not the major cause of why they're fighting. They're not fighting because Hangman Adam Page is a miserable, moody drunk who's acting stupid and maybe pissing off all the wrong people. And he's being a heel, and that's not why they're fighting. They're fighting because the tournament set up this way. They both want to be world champion. So this match really doesn't have that much heat. Sorry. Well, that's the next match. The next match is going to be Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara, the Elite Deletion. It's going to be some type of cinematic contest. I don't know what's up with Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy. They literally been feuding since like May. Since like May, they've been feuding. Now, I know that for a lot of that time, Matt was injured. They say he had a concussion, but it still took him 2 months to get back in the ring. Sammy was also suspended for a little while because of the whole thing with Sasha Banks. So hopefully this will be the end of their feud. And this is kind of what Matt Hardy should be doing. He's kind of going to be the cinematic guy. He's going to do this stuff. I don't think Matt Hardy can really work a real match anymore. It was painful watching him try to work matches in WWE. But he can do these cinematic matches forever. He's creative enough to get him over. Jericho's like, oh, he's the creator of these matches. Like, no, not really. He just kind of popularized them in a modern sense. Like, you can go back and see cinematic matches in not in the 70s. What I'm talking about in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. You got the Boiler Room Brawl, and you've got the monster truck thing from WCW. The bunkhouse match. What was that match with the truck? What is it called? The bunkhouse. Was it the bunkhouse stampede? or that match where they was on a speeding truck or something like that on like on site matches, like, you can do those anywhere. But I definitely think that this is going to be a time where Sammy Guevara is going to take the loss. But Sammy lost the last time too. But I think that so it would kind of dictate that Sammy should win this time, and then Matt maybe would move on and do something else. But I don't know if Matt's gonna, what value does Matt have if he continues to lose to Sammy Guevara? Because he's not as established as Jericho, or Cody, or anyone else. Like Matt Hardy needs to go on a run. Like he's kind of coasting on his name right now. He kind of needs to go on a run. Like Cody is on a run, Moxley's on a run, Jericho's on a run. Matt Hardy is kind of like a step or two above Dustin, where he's kind of the elder statesman. They don't mind putting him out there, but he's usually going to go out there to put somebody else over, and he has no real steam of his own. He needs to get his own steam, so he kind of needs to win this match. But then again, at the same time, they're just using his name anyway and trying to use this whole cinematic thing to sell pay-per-view. So it's probably going to end up being Sammy Guevara. I'm still going to pick Matt Hardy, though. The next is going to be Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's Championship. This match has no heat. It was just built up. Nyla Rose wants a title match. Nyla Rose gets a title match. Shida, they have really cursed her title run, similar to Asuka in WWE, where they just don't do anything with her. There's large stretches of time where Shida doesn't do anything. I think that you really just my thing is, I don't understand why they just don't do title for title with the NWH belt. Just do the title for title match. Corgan is going to be cool with it. Just do title for title, and you could have done that with Thunder Rosa. I guess you could do it with Serena Deeb, But that's really where they should be going. With a pay-per-view match, should have been Deeb versus Shida, title for title. Or at least with the NWA women's title on the line. And then you can build up to it, like I said before in previous videos about Thunder Rosa and Shida. But I'm pretty sure now they're just going to put the title on Nyla Rose. Because why not? It's not like this belt means anything. This belt doesn't mean anything. Okay, next match, Orange Cassidy versus John Silver. Orange Cassidy is going to win. I don't care about this other guy. Let's keep going. The next match, Cody Rhodes, who's probably going to be Cody Rhodes this time, versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Now, this match it's not really a toss-up. But Cody just won this title back. It kind of, it would be fine for Darby to win it. I think that it would be good for his career. For him to get a decent title run out of this. I do worry that if he does win the title, how they try to keep the TNT title visible as far as being a television championship. Do you hurt Darby Allin by overexposing him, by making him that champion, and then tell him he has to go out there and wrestle every week, essentially? He doesn't have the star power of Cody. He doesn't have the name of Cody. But he does get a decent rub from this match, even though he hasn't said anything, which is actually more damaging to his character than anything. Is that he just doesn't communicate. They're trying to say he has a mystique, but when you see him doing weird stuff like getting into shoving matches with his friends or hanging out in body bags, he's kind of like he's a fucking idiot. But I like Darby. All in all, I like that he's a fiery, small babyface. I kind of like that he's not as unique as they try to make him seem, but I am in the Darby. I am a pro Darby camp. I think he could carry the title and face off. Now the question is, who do you have him face if he wins? Do you have the Brian Cage, which you could do? They have a story together. They have history. You could do Brian Cage and Darby Allin. You could also do Cage and Cody. And the promo from Taz basically said that Brian Cage wants Cody. And pretty much Ricky Starks also had challenged Cody before for the TNT title. I think that was his debut, and he lost. So I think Cage and Cody is where they want to go with this. But Cage and Darby Allin also have history. So they do have a nice little backup plan here. And I think that Darby winning is the better move. So I'm going to go with Darby Allin wins the title. Because they've sort of teased Darby beating Cody and Darby beating Jericho and all these beating these guys. He's the only one of this Jungle Boy of the 3 or 4 guys that they've been trying to really really get over: Orange Cassidy, MJF, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy. Did I say Jungle Boy twice? Orange Cassidy, MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy. Okay, that's 4. Of those 4 guys, they've really been trying to get over. I think Orange Cassidy is the oldest of them. I think he's like in his mid-30s. Ricky Starks, I didn't say Ricky Starks, but Darby, MJF, and Jungle Boy are all not even 30 yet. So you have to get some of these guys over. And I think they've been really trying with these guys. Now, they've given Orange Cassidy some big wins. They've given MJF some big wins. But they haven't given Darby a big win yet. And I think this is probably going to be his. He's probably going to win this title and probably not be champion for long. But it might be good to solidify him here and have him go ahead and win the match. So Chris Jericho versus MJF. If MJF wins, he joins the Inner Circle. I think that in this match, it would make sense for MJF to win. Now, in my talking up to this point, I said, like, if he beats Jericho, he might as well just lead the Inner Circle. But I think that at this point, we're probably going to get to the point where MJF does not want to be in the Inner Circle anymore. Where, like, he's been disrespected to the point where he's kind of like, he doesn't really want to be in it. Now, a better decision would be that MJF does get into the Inner Circle and kind of takes over and they kick Jericho out. Then I think that would be cool because Jericho did lose to Orange Cassidy. Now he would have lost to MJF, and they would say, "Oh, Jericho isn't who we thought he was. He's an old fuddy duddy. He needs to get the hell out of here." That would be sweet. That would be a really cool turn if MJF beats Jericho. Jericho's like, "Okay, you deserve to get in." They shake hands, and then Santana, Ortiz, and Hager beat the hell out of Jericho, and then kick him out of the Inner Circle. And say, like, you losing means that you're not fit enough to be in the group, let alone lead it. But I don't see them doing something so dramatic. So what I see happening is maybe MJF wins, but it's by chicanery, tights pulling, something like that. And Jericho just basically accepts that he's in the Inner Circle, and they run with that for a little while. And you do have the sort of story that Jericho has Hager, and now MJF is going to have Wardlow. So you're going to have this expansion of the Inner Circle. So what do you really do with that? Then I guess you're going to have to deal with the Elite or the Natural. What's it called? The Nightmare Family or something like that. They wanted to have this War Games match. I think they're still going to end up having it. They're going to have to build up to it though. And I think that adding MJF to the team for their little War Games match would make sense. And I think that that's just kind of inevitable. So let's just go with MJF winning because Jericho is a very nice guy. And he's probably not going to put MJF in a position where he's going to completely and totally shit on him. But this doesn't make any sense, obviously, because they were singing and dancing together 3 weeks ago. They were best buds singing goddamn Frank Sinatra together, and now they're fighting. Whatever. I mean, if I see no benefit in repeating myself. Like, if you follow this channel, you probably heard me say that before. Like, this is stupid. Okay, it's FTR versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, and if the Young Bucks do not win, they cannot challenge for the AEW World Tag Team titles again. That pretty much means that they will win. I don't see them creating a secondary tag team championship, which is what some people have said. Like, some people just pretty much guess there's going to be like a junior tag team title. I pitched like there probably would be a trios championship. And who knows, there still might be a trios title. They're always looking to expand these things. They're probably going to have a women's tag team title eventually. But I think that is just what they're doing here is they're just going to have the Young Bucks win the titles. Like, this is backwards, of course. The Young Bucks should be the champions defending against FTR, but now they've flipped it and did it the other way around. Whatever, I'm interested in this match, though, because I'm interested in seeing how the Young Bucks are going to work. I'm also interested in seeing how much time they're going to give themselves. Are they going to give themselves 40 minutes? Because this feels like they're going to go out there and be like, we need 45 minutes, TK, my dude. We have to tell this story. This is what people have been waiting on for a really, really long time. I say we go out there and we give them like 45 minutes. If this match is going to be like damn near an hour, like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Adam Page, where it was just like a marathon, oh, shush. I don't know about that, dog. I don't know about that one. But I do see the Young Bucks winning the match. I see the match also going long. It's not going to be a solid 15 to 20 minutes. It's probably going to be about 35, 40 minutes. It's going to be it's probably going to be the longest match on the card. You know, it's more than likely going to be the longest match on the card. Okay, we see in the main event is Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW World Championship. And to be quite honest, I actually want Eddie Kingston to win because he really sold me on that promo that he performed. The problem with that is, with like Eddie Kingston winning the title would not benefit AEW. I don't believe. You know, yes, he's believable in the spot. Yes, his story is great. Yes, his promo is excellent, but it just doesn't make sense. You know, Moxley is sort of, you've been pushing. I mean, because then you would have to, like, if it was WWE, it would be realistic for Eddie Kingston to win the title and then just drop it later to someone else. But AEW seems to not really be fond of short title runs, even though, you know, the TNT Championship run was kind of short for Brody Lee. But they don't seem to be in you know, working towards short transitional championship runs. So, and I think it would probably be better if they're going to put the crown on Kenny Omega, which I think everybody kind of believes is going to happen, that they're probably going to do that by having him beat Jon Moxley, you know, and that would make sense because I believe they could build off of their previous match, you know. Now, you could say Kingston and Omega have no previous history. It could be a fresh match, but it's not going to be the kind of match that Kenny Omega wants. You know, Kenny Omega is likely going to want a big match that is going to be, you know, a big blockbuster. And I think he can kind of do that with Moxley, not really do that with Kingston. But I do expect this match to be brutal. I expect blood, thumbtacks, probably some fire. You know, it's probably going to be some really ugly shit happening. But ultimately, I think that Eddie Kingston is going to lose. But I don't know what you do with him afterwards. Like, if you take a character that's this strong, this proud, and you humble him to such a degree where he says, I quit, not just he gets pinned, not just he taps out, but he gets completely humbled and says that he quits, he loses a lot. You know, like, he loses a lot. Like, if you take Taz from 1998 or something like that, when he was destroying the world, and you have him, you know, say, I quit, it's like, ooh, that's, like, brutal. Like Vader in the early 90s, Vader in, like, 93, 94 or something like that. Doesn't just get pinned, but, like, it's forced to say, I quit. It's like, yikes. You know, like, like, yeah, Vader's a monster. You know, it's a lot more damaging. But that's kind of how they built up Eddie Kingston here. Or Eddie Kingston has kind of been selling himself as being, like, this ultimate street guy that you're really going to have to kill me in order to get me to, you know, to submit, to get me to quit. And for him to, for that to be, to hit that limit and say that he can't go anymore, I don't know how you rehab that character afterwards. You know, I don't know what you do. Maybe I'm not creative enough. Maybe they have something, they know something I don't. But I don't see how it happens. All right, so that's the matches. And for the record, let's go back through it. I'm picking Jon Moxley to beat Eddie Kingston, the Young Bucks to beat FTR, MJF to beat Jericho, Darby Allin to beat Cody, Orange Cassidy to beat John Silver, Nyla Rose to win the women's title, Matt Hardy to win the Ultimate Deletion, Kenny Omega to win the tournament, and Serena Deeb to win the buy-in. So that's AEW Full Gear. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys later.